Scene 4. Octavius Caesar condemns Antony's behavior in Egypt, and in the face of attacks by Pompey, Manus, and Menecratus, he wishes for Antony's return. Octavius's view relationship with Antony is so tricky. He simultaneously uh, is like obsessed with him. But he hates him, right? Octavius is an envious and cruel narcissist. This is what's illustrated in this play. Obsessed with his rivals and jealous of their life of pleasure, a man who has traded his soul for an empire, yet feeds his followers on waste, even his solicitude for his sister Octavia, is essentially narcissistic. By the end, he has conquered all the known world, but is humiliated by Cleopatra's denial. Remember with Fortune, right? Fortune always shines on Octavius. He beats Antony at everything: dice, war, everything except love. So we see Octavius Caesar here. You may see Lepidus, and henceforth know it is not Caesar's natural vice to hate our great competitor. From Alexandria, this is the news. Here's Antony. He fishes, drinks, and wastes the lamps of night in revel. Is not more manlike than Cleopatra. He's unmanly. This is unmanly behavior. This is not Roman behavior. Nor the Queen of Ptolemy. Cleopatra had nominally married her brother Ptolemy, who was only child at the command of Julius Caesar. Cleopatra, what did we say? So this is important to know here while we set this up. Octavius is young, right? Like 23. Mark Antony is 40, 41, 43. Cleopatra is 38. So, and Cleopatra had a relationship with Julius Caesar as well. But here's Octavius Caesar's view of Antony. Is not more manlike than the Queen of Ptolemy. He's acting like a woman, more womanly than he. Hardly gave audience or vouchsafed to think he had partners. You shall find there a man who's the abstract of all faults that all men follow. The symbol of universal weakness. That's Antony. He's weak. Lepidus, the other part of the triumvirate here. So the triumvirate, the three heads, are the three leaders, the three people in power. Octavius Caesar, Mark Antony. Lepidus is the lesser of the three. Caesar wants to get rid of them, though. I must not think there are evils enough to darken all his goodness. Right? I don't think there's evil enough now. Lepidus is to darken all his goodness. His faults in him seem as the spots of heaven, more fiery by night's blackness. Hereditary rather than purchased. What he cannot change than what he chooses. This is Antony. And Antony is one of those characters. He's just like, I don't know, he's like a cool cat, man. He has it, Caesar, because Lepidus is like apologizing for Antony. He's in love. He's in love with Cleopatra. He's still a great man. Caesar, Octavius Caesar is cold, right? Calculated. All he cares about is winning. You are too indulgent. Let's grant it is not amiss to tumble out the bed of Ptolemy, to give a kingdom for a mirth, to sit and keep the turn of tippling. Exchange toast, drinking with a slave, to reel the streets at noon and stand the buffet with knaves that smells of sweat. They're just running the streets, having fun running the streets with all various riffraff. Say this becomes him? As his composure here, character, must be rare indeed, whom these things cannot blemish. The person who this behavior cannot blemish is rare indeed. Yet must Antony no way excuse his foils, his stains, when we do bear so great weight in his likeness. We miss him, though, right? Him not being here is harming us. If he filled his vacancy with his voluptuousness, full surfeits and the dryness of his bones call on him for it. But to confound such time that drums him from his sport and speaks as loud as his own state and ours, 'tis to be chid as we rate boys who, being mature in knowledge, pawn their experience to their present pleasure and so rebel to judgment. Antony is a life of pleasure, right? And he's got bigger things to take care of here. Here's more news, Lepidus. Thy biddings have been done, and every hour, most noble Caesar, shalt thou have report how 'tis abroad. Pompey is strong at sea, and it appears he is beloved of those that not only have feared Caesar. To the ports the discontents repair, the and men's reports give him much wrong. Give him much wrong. So we have the political machinations at work here. I should have known no less. It hath been taught us from the primal state, the sense government began, that he which is it was wished until he were, and the ebb man ne'er loved till nearer worth love, comes deared by being lacked. This common body, the populace, like to a vagabond flag upon the stream, goes to and back, lacking the varying tide, to rot itself with motion. Caesar's like, they're coming for me, right? And I gotta crush them. Caesar, I bring thee word, Menecratus and Manus, famous pirates, mix the sea serve them, which they ear and wound with keels of every kind. Many hot inroads they make in Italy. The borders maritime lack blood to think on it, flush youth revolt. No vessel compete forth, but 'tis as soon taken as seen, for Pompey's name strikes more than could his war resisted. They're planning, right? They're stuff moving. Caesar's gotta get his people together and quash this. Antony, leave thy lascivious wassels, revelry. When thou once was beaten from Medina, where thou slewest Hirtius and Panza, counsels at thy hill did famine follow. We need you here, Antony. Antony, leave your merrymaking, revelry, partying, living it up with Cleopatra. At the heel whom thou foughtest against, thou daintily brought up with patience more than savages could suffer. Thou didst drink the stale of horses in the gilded puddle which beasts would cough at. Thy palate then did deign, not disdain. Used to tear shit up, man. Used to. Now look what's become of you. Thy roughest berry on the rudest hedge. Yea, like the stag when snow the pasture sheets, the barks of trees then browse. On the Alps is report thou didst eat strange flesh, which some did die to look on. And all this, it wounds thine honor that I speak it now. But you acted, you also did some bad things. Yeah. Was born so like a soldier that thy cheek so much as lanked not, thinned. 'Tis pity of him. Let his shames quickly drive him to Rome. We need him here, but he's also acting shameful. His shames, both, think of his shames. How he treated Fulvia. He's sleeping, he's hanging out with Cleopatra. Also, he's just abandoning his duty. 'Tis time we twain did show ourselves in the field, and to that end assemble we immediate council. Pompey thrives in our idleness. Tomorrow, Caesar, I shall be furnished to inform you rightly, both what by sea and land I can be able to front this present time, till which encounter is my business too. Farewell. Farewell, my lord, what you shall know. Meantime, of stirs abroad, I shall beseech you, sir, to let me be partaker. Doubt not, sir, I knew it for my bond, my duty. So they're looking at Antony here, it's a double-edged sword. They're talking all this shit about Antony, but they need him, right? They need him, at least for the moment. But we see Octavius has this dual, talking badly of Antony, but also is in thrall of him in moments too. And we see the character of Octavius Caesar, and we're making more political moves and machinations soon.